Welcome again, everyone, to the grand opening of the Hastings Field House. Our theme for the evening is Launching Possibilities, Igniting Community Spirit. We have a very exciting evening tonight with a special presentation by a true Canadian hero, Colonel Chris Hadfield. Yeah, sorry. I didn't realize.
She does command a certain amount of respect, though, doesn't she?
We're so excited to have him here to open this incredible facility. I'm Lynn Phillips, CAO for the Municipality of Trent Hills.
And I'm Mike Rudder, the former CAO of the Municipality of Trent Hills. I'm not sure if you're clapping that I'm the former CAO or if you're... There are a few logistics that we want to deal with before we get started. Our washrooms, as many of you know, are located outside of those doors. There's a few in the building, but we have a trailer outside as well. Please note the emergency exits are all along the side of the building. You'll see the new green lights on the exit signs. There's water available for purchase should you wish to do so at the back. And please note that following Colonel Hadfield's presentation, there will be a Q&A and a book signing as well. I'd ask everyone to turn off their cell phones. And I would like to also say that in case you're wondering, we did try our best to coordinate with Colonel Hadfield's schedule, and so we aren't finished construction yet. So you may see some things that are unfinished. One of the big things that you may have noticed already is our air conditioning isn't installed at this point, but it will be coming in the next short while, I'm assured. So I apologize for the warmth, but it's a good thing. Just remember January. If you get hot, just think this is better than January. So I'd like to begin the night by asking everyone just to take a moment and think about what you've seen so far. I want you to think about that turf field. And I want you to think about, in a few days, we're going to be seeing children play on that field. We're going to be playing soccer, they're going to be playing lacrosse. There's going to be people my age on driving ranges trying to hit that big target at the back. And I really can, I'm sure. And there's going to be people walking through that foyer, and they're going to be playing table tennis. We're actually going to have a table tennis table out there. They're going to be watching their children play or their family members play. There's going to be people walking around this walking track, playing basketball, volleyball. It really is an example of what can happen when we dream big dreams and when we work together, what we can accomplish. And so good for you all. Look what we've done. There are a number of people and organizations to thank tonight because without them, none of this would have been possible. And the first one is the Ontario Trillium Foundation, who provided funding to purchase all of the turf that you see. The Ministry of Culture, Sport and Tourism, who provided funding for much of the equipment and marketing of this facility. This isn't a case of if you'll build it, they'll come. We know we're going to have to market this facility to maximize its use, and so we're going to do that with help from the Ministry of Culture, Sport and Tourism. Hydro One gave us a very large donation for the construction of this facility. The Bain family, owners of Bain Construction, who every time we call them, they're the first to respond, and they don't just do great work for us on our roads and our infrastructure, they help us in every way they can. And for Deerhaven, who provided a gator for this facility at a greatly reduced cost, and you've seen it at the back.
And thank you to everyone who's volunteered their time here this evening to make this such a special event. Thank you to our Councillor Cathy Redden for leading us in O Canada. And to those that are largely responsible for the design and construction of this facility, AECOM Canada, the consulting engineers who did the design work, Peak Engineering, our general contractor, and the Farley Group, who supplied the dome, and in addition made a very generous donation of equipment and financial assistance to ensure that no one is turned away. We'd also like to thank the neighbors in this area for their patience during construction. We know it's been very noisy and dusty at times, and please know that we'll work hard to earn your trust as a good neighbor.
One of the things that has made this night a success already is that the great news coverage we've received from our local media. As always, John Campbell and Bill Freeman from the Trent Hills Independent have covered this. I can remember them being here when there were many, many cold, windy days, and we were just putting up a sign, and they'd come here and help us get the news out. We've had Dan Nisnik and Aileen Doyle from Czechs News, and Teresa Kazuba and Mike Judson from Czechs Daily, and I know many of you saw the story told on those shows, and so we really appreciate what they have done for us as well. And a great big thank you to the board and the staff of the Campbellford Seymour Community Foundation, whose financial and organizational efforts have made tonight possible. We'd also like to say a really special thank you to Pam Vandesteeg, who has worked tirelessly to get us ready for tonight.
And we have a number of staff who deserve special recognition. Kelly Stapley, who will operate the field house and who has also worked hard getting us ready for this evening. Peter Burnett, our recreation manager, who's pulled together his staff under difficult conditions and as usual has come through when we needed him most. Scott Rose, our community services officer, who has participated in all of the consultations where the seed of this dream was first planted and has quietly worked behind the scenes to make sure the dream grew. And Scott White, the General Manager of Infrastructure and Renewal, who's been our project manager and who worked with our contractors to make sure this facility turned out to be everything we dreamed it would be and more. And a very special thank you to the Trent Hills Fire Department for assisting us tonight with traffic, parking, and just in general getting people into the building. Thank you very much.
As well, we've had a great turnout from our staff in our recreation department, and I want to say a great big thank you to them too. They're getting to know this facility like everybody else today. We only took possession of the facility very recently, and so it's been a big learning curve for them, but you've done a great job, guys. Thank you so much. And finally, this project didn't happen overnight. See, I didn't want to do this because I cry at these things. It's ridiculous. But it's taken us a number of years to get here. There have been a number of councils involved in the project at its various phases, and we want to take some time to acknowledge each of them. We have Mayor Hector McMillan, Deputy Mayor Bob Crate, Councillor Rosemary Kelleher McLennan, Councillor Kathy Redden, Councillor William Thompson, Councillor Rick English, Councillor Ken Tully, and we have former members here as well. Councillor Jean Bratney, Councillor Bill White, Councillor Dean Peters, Councillor Camille Edwards, Councillor Kim McNeil, and Councillor Marion Jones. Leadership is really tough sometimes. That's why few people step up to do it. You've all shown support as our entire community sowed the seeds of this recreation center redevelopment dream. You continue to show that support as staff developed a plan and a financial plan to go with it. And there's been a lot of criticism that came with that, but now your support is paid off, and Trent Hills will be much stronger because of your leadership. So thank you very much.
There are a couple dignitaries here this evening. First of all, our Member of Parliament, Rick Norlock, sends his best wishes. He's unable to make it this evening. We do invite our Member of Provincial Parliament, Lou Rinaldi, to come forward and bring greetings on behalf of the province.
Wow, look at all the lights. And it's great to have a podium you can see through so you can see me. So, wow, I'm going to carry one of these in my back pocket wherever I go. Last time I was in this field was when we were doing the announcement for some money you got from the province that you mentioned for some marketing. And I was supposed to picture this. That's what they were getting some of the money for. Frankly, I did not picture this. I really didn't know what I was thinking, but certainly not this, and I am so impressed. And you know, when you think about it, I said this a number of times here tonight, who believed this happened in Hastings? regardless what your background is, whether it's politics or whatever, you know, nothing is impossible. And I think your speaker tonight is going to tell you about that as he went around the world a few times. So if you wanted to make it happen, just picture it, drive it, and you will get there. And you got there tonight. So I'm not going to take a lot of time, but I do have it. I'm not going to read it. A little certificate to commemorate this day that hopefully you can display it in your office here. Maybe the mayor, come up. Actually, it's always been a pleasure to work with Trent Hills. You folks have the vision. You get down to the road, you drive, and you get there. Thanks. And so it's been a real pleasure. And in behalf of the province, let me congratulate you. You were very successful in a couple of applications to help for some money. One is Trillium, and one is for marketing, totaling well over $200,000. You had your you had your cards all in the right position, and that was able to happen. So congratulations. Look, coming forward, seeing those kids play, I think that's number one. So congratulations to all involved.
Don't go away. Next, we invite the Mayor of Trent Hills, Hector McMillan, to say a few words before our official opening.
That's a record. You know, Mike and I haven't always agreed. And tonight is no different. And market this building we will. But if you build it, they will come. Good evening, everyone, and welcome. Today marks the realization of a decade-long dream. 12 years ago, my first council received the newly created Trent Hills Recreation Master Plan, which helped us identify the changing recreation wants and needs of our communities, as well as the shifting demographics of our residents. The report recommended what our recreation facilities could and should look like. It recommended that one new facility be built in Trent Hills and that all of the rest of them be permanently closed. Council recognized recreation facilities are not just a place to play sports, but are also important community gathering places, cultural assets, as well as economic drivers for each urban center in which they are located. It was important to us that all three urban centers benefit from improved recreation facilities, and there be one campus located in each urban center. I thought it best at the time to step back and not participate directly in what became a very long public committee process and allow our communities to dream. To let them tell us what they wanted, and you did. You told us loud and clear what was needed and what you wanted. The Warkworth Arena has since been rebuilt thanks to many community volunteers and an investment in excess of $500,000 from Council. And an addition is planned for the future. In Campbellford, the outdoor pool has seen many upgrades, and the arena will now see a new steel roof to carry us forward until we can afford the next major phase of a new multi-use facility that could include an arena and aquatics facility. This phase is still a concept and will be finalized with your participation and approvals from the Campbellford Seymour Fair Board and Agricultural Society. Some of the decisions that have been made leading up to this day haven't always been easy for you or for us on council, particularly with the closing of the arena in Hastings. Change is really easily accepted, but with your support and our long-range vision, this new field house is really going to put Hastings on the map. It's impressive by anyone's standard,
And we're so excited to be able to provide this new facility to both residents of Trent Hills and our visitors. This is one of those projects when the concept drawings pale in comparison to the reality we see today. I walked in here last week and all I could think was, wow. It's so hard to believe we now have a world-class facility in our midst and it's all ours. I'm sure many of you had the same reaction when you came through that door tonight. All 4 councils I have led have been involved in the planning of this facility, and along with your vision and support, together we have made all of this possible. Your council is responsible for making the recreation redevelopment plans a priority and for implementing the recreation levy, which now stands at $500,000 per year. Because of this foresight and strategically created, well-planned financing, I'm happy to report that this $5 million facility will be paid for totally within the next 3 years. I'd like to thank Colonel Hadfield and his wonderful wife Elena for joining us tonight. It's an honor to have you with us. We also have another very special guest with us, lifelong Hastings resident and past Reeve Ab Nelson. I believe he's here. He was to be here. There he is right there. At a spry age of 102, you have seen so many things here in Hastings. Welcome, sir. It's an honor to have you with us tonight. I would like to take a moment to thank all of the community members who participated in the public process throughout the years. The Calvert Seymour Community Foundation, which was the original driving force behind a large-scale complex concept, and for bringing Colonel Hadfield here today to help us celebrate. In particular, Martha Murphy and Pam Van de Steeg. My council members, past and present, our MPP Lou Rinaldi, along with the Province of Ontario, the Trillium Foundation, Hydro One, Tom and Teresa Bain, and all of the Bain construction family, and of course Teresa is a Trent Hills hometown girl. We're glad to have you here tonight. The Hastings Hydro Fund, Deerhaven Equipment, and all of those of you who have contributed funding, donations, large and small, look what we can do. To Scott White, our Manager of Infrastructure Renewal, who has dealt with a multitude of challenges, trials and tribulations during this project. Well done, Scott. And to all of our Trent Hills staff and our firefighters who have played many parts in this project, from council, thank you. Thanks to my brother-in-law, Earl McLean, another Trent Hills hometown boy, for coming all the way from Napanee to help tonight, volunteering his DJ talents. Lastly, but certainly not least, for our outgoing CAO Mike Rudder, who was the one who came up with the field house concept and helped me with the financing strategy. This evening is Mike's last day with us. Not quite. So he's with us for another few hours. Mike's heading home, closer to his home. Please give Mike a round of applause. So thank you for attending, everyone, for your support of this project and your continued support of the next phases to come of our recreational center redevelopment plans. Within a few weeks, the final touches will be complete on this facility, and it will be yours to enjoy. We can all be very proud of it. Thanks again.
we're going to do the ribbon cutting to officially open the Hastings Field House. So I'd like to invite the mayor, who's already up here, the rest of council, and Colonel Hadfield to please come forward for the ribbon cutting.
We're going to do this slow. We're going to cut your ribbon. We're going to cut you slow. You ready? Take one of those. Give it a good time. 3, 2, 1. All right.
We're officially open. It's the part of the evening that everyone has been waiting for. Roll the tape.
Good evening. Good evening. My wife and I served 26 years outside of Canada, and it is an amazingly precious place. I am so strongly reminded of it by the things that were said on this stage already this evening. The understanding of community and the necessity to do something that will last. The recognition of the combination of need and opportunity and how to put those two things together. Also the recognition of the humble nature of it, that it just takes the individual effort of a bunch of people with a common purpose to accomplish something as magnificent as this field house. For my wife and I to have been away for 26 years, to return to Canada after over a quarter century away, you really see just what a wonderful construct our country is, but also the huge privilege that we have had and the enormous honor that you do us by standing up to welcome us home. So thank you very much for the ovation as we come back. Want to see everybody in the back. So we're launching this place today. It's really cool. Launches, of course, they seem like an event, but really all a launch is the beginning of something magnificent. Nothing has really happened worthwhile inside the confines of this building yet. Launches are just a demonstration of the beginning of opportunity. And what we're doing today here is opening up that opportunity. Think of the sweat and toil and teamwork and family and community events that are going to happen because of the significance of what's being celebrated today, because of launch. And I wanted to parallel it to my particular experience with launches. I've had the chance to leave Earth 3 times
to wake up one morning recognizing that by bedtime I was going to be off the planet. You know, imagine if you'd woken up this morning realizing that by bedtime you would be effortlessly weightless, orbiting the world, or you'd be dead. Well, that's the two things that might happen. It's sort of like a door number one and door number two kind of day. So it's an interesting day in the life of an astronaut, launch day. And much as this building, it came with the seed of an idea sometime way in the past. One person or a collection of people, or the inspiration of one talking to another. And the idea that this might be possible, and a huge amount of unrecognized work that led up to it, but the inevitability of it, and finally it arrives the day that you're launching.